So we have a clarinet that's in tune at the first overtone of 440 hertz inside the band hall. We have a temperature of 22.8 degrees C. What frequency will be in tune for it outside where the temperature is 36.9 degrees C? And so this problem takes a little thinking through. What do we know? We know velocity of sound inside, I'll call that VW1. It's 331 plus 0.6 times 22.8. I'm leaving out units for now because hopefully you know all those, and I'm just trying to type away. Okay, 0.6 times 36.9 degrees C. So we know our two velocities. What do we also know? Does the length of the clarinet change? No, the length does not change. Does the wavelength then change, right? What's the wavelength? The wavelength, lambda, is going to be 4L divided by 2N plus minus 1. And N in this case is 1. No, 2, pardon me. N is 2 in this case because we're talking about the first overtone. So lambda is 4/3 L, both inside and outside. Correct? Lambda is 4/3 L in both cases. So let's write down two equations then. We've got velocity is lambda F1, because we have a different frequency there. Velocity is lambda F2. Now let's solve these both for lambda, right? So we know lambda, let me type that correctly. Lambda is V1 divided by F1, but it's also V2 divided by F2. All right, so lambda equals this, and lambda equals that. That's what these equals means. And this equals that. All right, so we know F1, 440 hertz. We know VW1 now. We'll go calculate it in a second. We know VW2 because we'll calculate that in a second. The only thing in this part of the equation we don't know is F2. So let's solve for F2. F2, F2, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna invert both sides of the equation. All right, just invert both sides of the equation. Now I'm going to multiply through by W2. I'm going to rearrange a little bit because it's prettier this way. V2 divided by V1 onto F1. So now we know everything here. We can calculate F2. So let's start calculating. VW1 is 331 plus 0.6 times, let me do this correctly. T1 is 22.8, T2 is 36.9, and F1 is 440. So VW1 is 331 plus 0.6 times T1. VW2 is 331 plus 0.6 times T2. And now we have our equation for F2 down here. F2 is VW2 divided by VW1 times F1. All right? And if you have doubts about order of operations here, put parentheses around the first piece so that you know exactly what's going to happen. And so F2 is 450.8 hertz. That's it for this problem.